Hello guys, and welcome back to a new episode. So today I'm going to talk about the Canon R6 Mark III. This is a camera that Canon released just yesterday. I don't have the camera in my hands right now, but I'm going to share my thoughts on it, what I think about it, and let's see how it goes. So without wasting much time, let's get into today's video. So the Canon R6 Mark III has been a camera that we all knew that it was actually going to come out, and we're all anticipating the release of that particular camera. Because of how good the Canon R6 Mark II was, we knew that when the R6 Mark III came out, it's going to be exceptional. And Canon did that. They released the Canon R6 Mark III just yesterday. And just as I said in my previous video, don't be typing in the comments right now about the Canon R6 Mark III, which I know is not out yet. But I know the moment that camera comes out, it's also going to have a big full-size HDMI, a big full-size HDMI, a big full-size HDMI. Canon R6 Mark III, yes, it was definitely going to come out with a full-size HDMI port. So yes, we like it as consumers, we like it as users of these cameras, we like it. We appreciate what Canon is doing and putting such elements in their cameras going forward. And I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing for Canon, and it's a good thing for us, the users as well. So let's get into the other specs of this particular camera and what I think about this particular camera. So being a filmmaker, I'm not going to so much dwell on the photography aspect, but I'm going to talk about the video aspect and where I think the camera sits in today's world or in today's market. So first of all, the Canon R6 Mark III now has a brand new sensor, which is quite encouraging, which is quite nice to see. And the surprise I had was that particular camera has the same sensor as the Canon C50, which was a big blow to me actually. For Canon to put such a sensor in sort of a hybrid or a mid-range, if I should say, camera, I think is a very, very good thing. And I'm going to share why I think it is a good thing at the end of the video. Now, this camera is also almost the same size as the Canon R6 Mark II. So probably if you have cages or other peripherals that you use with your Canon R6 Mark II and you want to use the same thing on the Canon R6 Mark III, these are going to actually work with the Canon R6 Mark III. So another good thing is that the Canon R6 Mark III comes with a new battery, which is the LPE6E battery, which was released alongside the Canon R5 Mark II. We all know how good that battery is, but the annoying thing about that battery is how expensive that battery is. That battery is very, 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 very expensive, but all the same, you're happy that such a battery exists and it can give us a very long battery life when using the camera. So another thing that the R6 Mark III now have introduced is that the R6 Mark III now uses the CF Express Type B card alongside with the SD card. So just as its predecessor used to have two SD card slots, now the R6 Mark III comes in with a CF Express Type B card and also an SD card. So in my opinion, I think it's a good thing. Also, since it has the same sensor as the Canon C50, it means we're going to see something like the open gate, 7K and all those things. So yes, the Canon R6 Mark III now can shoot in 7K RAW internally, which it's some way. Wow. So the Canon R6 Mark III now can shoot in 7K RAW at 30p open gate. It also can shoot in 4K 120 with no crop. 4K 120 with no crop, which I think is nice. Also, I think one of the nicest things that Canon did, which I think they did it on their Canon R50V and is now on the Canon R6 Mark III, is that there's now a dial that can switch to an S and F mode, which is a very good thing, which I think is a very good thing. so that when you're shooting, you can easily switch in between those modes. So that Canon R6 Mark III's IBIS has also been improved, which we know in the Canon C50, it does not have IBIS. For me personally, being a filmmaker and the way I work and my style of work, I don't think I need IBIS. I don't need IBIS. Anytime I'm doing a project, I probably have a gimbal or a stabilizer next to me to be able to shoot. I don't want to shoot, and at the end of the day, I don't really want to rely on IBIS actually. And just to buttress on that point a little bit, I just saw a video online and I can still see that the wobbles that we normally see with Canon cameras with IBIS is still there. So personally, for me, I know that there's a very big debate online and people are debating IBIS is better, like IBIS is good. But for me, I don't think I need a camera that has IBIS so that my sensor can be stable, and in case I'm putting it on a car or I'm trying to do other fast-paced stuff, you know, and it's not going to cause any problem when the sensor is shifting here and there. So for me, I don't like IBIS. So another addition that the Canon has added to the R6 Mark III is that the R6 Mark III now can shoot C-Log 2. So this started from the R5 Mark II, where we saw that Canon introduced the C-Log 2 log profile into that particular camera, which is the R5 Mark II. And the C50 also had the Canon C-Log 2. And now the R6 Mark III also has C-Log 2. So when you have all these different cameras, you can simply shoot in the same log profile and you can mix and match your footage with no problems. One addition to the Canon R6 Mark III is that the Canon R6 Mark III now has dual native ISO, which is the same as what we saw on the C50. That is the base ISO being 800 and 6400, which I think is also a nice addition to this camera. So these are the highlight features that I think they stood out to me when I was looking at the features of the newly released Canon R6 Mark III. So I didn't say so much about the photography side, but I think when it comes to photography, is not really major improvement from the R6 Mark II. So that is that. But also, I think now the Canon R6 Mark III finally looks like a hybrid camera. But one major thing that I would like to put across there is overheating, because this camera doesn't come with a built-in fan. We don't see an active cooling or anything like that in this particular camera. So I'm so much sure that there's gonna be some problems with overheating. As to how big they are or how problematic they are, I can't tell right now, but I think definitely there's going to be a problem with overheating. And for someone like me that does film and occasionally does live streaming, I think using such a camera, even though it has a very big HDMI port, but I think using it for live streaming and continuous shooting, you know, which sometimes when we do live streaming, we plug our V mount through the Type-C port, which when you do that, sometimes it creates or it makes the camera overheat, or it worsens its overheating situation. I'm looking at how that camera can actually survive in such a situation. But all the same, I think this is a very good camera. But what I'll finally say is that I think it's a photography first camera before a video camera. Now, why am I saying this? I think when you look at the body with the viewfinder and everything, how the camera is being shaped and what it can do photography-wise. So let's take, for instance, you have a YouTuber who does photography and normally does maybe YouTube videos here and there, or sometimes videos on Reels or other things for other clients when he or she is doing his photography work. I think this is a very good camera because of the open gate and all that, you know, and that this camera can shoot in. So I think that this will be a very good camera, so that when you buy that camera, you don't need another camera to be shooting videos. You can simply take pictures with this camera and also benefit for its wall and place video features. Or maybe you're shooting a wedding, for instance, and maybe you go on set with just 2 cameras, and you have a photographer who is using maybe the Canon R6 Mark III. That person can occasionally take some videos for you that you can easily mix it up with the shots that you're getting from your 2 cameras, and that can also give you extra shots, you know. So I think in such scenarios, that would be the best scenario. But if you are somebody who does video only and occasionally do pictures, I don't think this camera is actually for you. If you really rely on video, I know the price of the R6 Mark III, which I think is around $2,700 thereabout. But in my opinion, I'll say that go in for the C50, which is a video first camera before pictures. So that would be my opinion on the Canon R6 Mark III. I think it's a very good camera. I think it's nice that Canon has released this camera, and maybe on my next shoot, I hope someone comes along with a Canon R6 Mark III, which I can, try and let the person shoot some video shots for me and add that up to whatever I'm getting with my other camera. So guys, that will be all for today. So without wasting much time, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Let's build this community together. And see you in my next video. Let's go.